money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's teen driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Southbound 35 at Tech Ridge Boulevard, there's a disabled vehicle that's sitting in the right lane. This has traffic moving slow from Palmer. Right now, seeing a minute or two delay getting through the area. And then southbound 35 after 183, there's reports of debris in the left lane. Use caution and stay to the right. I'm Junior Caruso with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you right here in America. And this summer, we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you.
For a limited time until supplies last, assembled with U.S. and imported parts.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
The devastating Texas floods have impacted countless residents. Families have lost their homes. Communities and lives have been shattered, and children are still missing. The need is urgent. The Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country has launched the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund to support response, relief, and long-term recovery efforts. All donations will go directly to trusted local organizations to provide food, shelter, healthcare, and hope. Join us today and donate to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund at communityfoundation.net.
iHeart is America's #1 podcast network. Open the free iHeart app and explore podcasts like this.
No more waiting until the morning. Nightcap with Unc and Ocho is our new evening sports talk destination with NFL legend Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, and me, Shannon Sharp. Come hang out with Unc and Ocho as we give out unfiltered take and instant reaction to the biggest games, biggest moments right after they end.
Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, El Paso, Silsbee, Texas, or wherever you may be listening. This is a Texas Tuesday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We've got a loaded first hour waiting on you. Feel still with the College Football Bible joins us at 7:17. Joe Cook of On 3 and Inside Texas joins us at 7:34. Connected Athletic founder Anthony Williams joins us at 7:47 to help you and your young ones learn about recruiting. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And our guy Marcus, who is overthinking this morning, is joining us behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to leave a message or get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Lainey Wilson, all you got to do is use that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. You know the one that you got us #1 as your preset, and #2 for your podcast in case you missed any of it.
What's up? #2. Hey, Marcus, it's okay to think. Just don't overthink.
Yeah, I'm kind of steaming off the top of my head right now.
It's more than that, dog. It's more than that. My boy dialed in this morning, which is all good. We need him dialed in, so that's what it's supposed to be about. Shout out to LFG Catering for bringing us some breakfast this morning, as always. She does an outstanding job, and if you're missing out on that, you are missing out on that. Get yourself.
Hardge, how long you think this sandwich is going to make it? You think it's going to make it through the next break?
Well, I'm sure people are watching on camera, and they'll probably be watching you eating it during the show. So we've seen that happen before too. But I want to get into this conversation right now. First and foremost, we're still praying for all those that have been affected by the storms and the flooding. And, there's more and more stories that are coming out, more and more people that did not make it through. But if you want to do anything, make sure you get yourself a chance to go over to our AM 1300 The Zone show page and check it out and see where you can help if you can in any type of way. Anything and everything kind of helps out every single person. Also, you can go to Covert Hutto. Today is the last day in Hutto. And Mark, you got MB Cave. Yeah. So
and the Austin Disaster Relief.
Yep. There's a lot going on. Red Cross, there's fire departments. There's just so much that they still need help with. So please, if you can, do whatever you can to try to help those that are in need. Somebody that can help some people that are in need is 2 players in the NBA. The news came out yesterday that one of your top players, Paolo Banchero, is now one of the highest paid players in the NBA, maxed out on his rookie deal. And Mark, you've been talking about this guy for a while. Every time I watch him play, he just seems to get better and better. And you forget how big he is as a basketball player.
265 pounds.
Yep.
Like a 6'8", 6'9" guy shouldn't be able to move like that.
Should not.
And we're kind of spoiled. We saw LeBron James all these years. He's basically the same size as LeBron, but he's more of a grunt. He's more of a inside post presence that can hit threes occasionally.
Yeah, he signed a 6-year total. The future of it is 6-year, $302 million contract. His extension rookie max reached out to 5 years,
and could be up to $287 million.
You know what I love about him though, Hardge? Like his understanding of money is like he just can't fathom the money. He's like, I just never even thought about. I mean, like,
yeah,
how do you? I won't be able to spend that.
Right.
Like,
You'll find a way.
He got a kid mentality. I hope that he's got great people around him taking care of him.
Well, they've locked up their entire future. They got Franz Wagner. He is 5 years, 224. They got Jalen Suggs, who I hope he can stay healthy because he is somebody that I've been a big fan of. He just needs to go ahead and let it go with that haircut because it is not where it is.
I was wondering how long it was going to be before you bashed somebody.
5 years.
LJ Cryer,
Yeah.
next on the list.
Yeah.
Do something with it, bro. You're making it a lot of money. I need that hair done.
Jalen Suggs, he's 5 years, 151. Desmond Bain, they just got there. He is 4 years, 163. Wendell Carter Jr., 4 years, $70 million. Jace Richardson, brand new draft pick, 4 year, $15 million. And Anthony Black, 2 year, $18 million. So they have found a way to lock it up and really be successful as they move forward.
And you can tell they want continuity.
Yeah.
They want these guys to play the same ball for 3 years.
Yeah.
And in these next 3 years, I think that they'll be in a conference championship with what they have right now.
Well, one of the things we didn't get a chance to talk about because I was not here last week was SGA. SGA ends up getting his contract, and let's just say, dude's money is like Wakanda.
Yeah, that's
4 years.
Train smart.
4 year, $285 million Supermax contract extension with the championship Oklahoma City Thunder through 2030-2031. Sources tell ESPN this is now the richest annual salary for a player in league history. That's our breaking news right now here on First Take. And so, Wendy, reaction to this news about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, the bad news for the rest of the NBA is that the Thunder have a tremendous young team and are in position to lock them all down this summer. They can basically lock up their entire core in the next few weeks. And this was a big move here. And, you know, the key is going to be to study the terms of this deal to see how this all works out. But this was a no-brainer. The man is the MVP. He's the finals MVP. He's the scoring champion. He's just really entering his prime. And look, a lot of people have always said stars don't want to be in Oklahoma City. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wants to be in Oklahoma City.
So check this out. This is how this contract breaks down. 4 year, $285 million. $2.45 per second. $147.26 per minute. 8,084,000 per hour. $212,000 per day. $868.9 thousand per game, Mark. $1.48 million per week. $5.94 million per month, with a grand total of $71.25 million per year.
The boy got his own money.
And when I say he got his own money, I mean he got his own money. Yeah, man, that's built different in the NBA.
Listen, sometimes the math is not math, and don't worry about it. We're going to gloss over that. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I was like, what was I looking at?
But I'm just hard. Like, the money is starting to get to the point to where it's not even, something that we should even think about now, because it's the going rate for, what these big contracts are putting out.
Yep.
And with the collective bargaining now,
TV money.
And the TV money, all of these guys are getting that percentage of that, and that's where this money is coming from.
Yep.
So it's monopoly money now.
So we talked about this a little while a few months ago when he was really cooking in his bag. He had one of the greatest seasons in NBA history. He had the scoring title, All-Star, first team All-Pro, All-NBA, MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, and the Finals MVP. 20 points per game, 30 points per game, 40 points per game, and 50-point games. Like this dude was in his bag.
He did everything but make All-Pro in football.
Exactly. And so here he is becoming this superstar to be on a different level. So I'm excited about that. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable when you sit back and you think about it all.
And you talk about Orlando being able to have their team locked away for the next 3 years. Oklahoma City has their team locked away for the next 3 years.
No doubt.
And I'm gonna tell you now, Jay Williams, that dude is gonna get paid too. It's coming. His deal is up in.
I think he just got. No, that was the other Jalen Williams. That was the other one. Yeah, the one that we forgot about.
I don't know how. I mean, he did go for 40.
No, not that one. The other one that got paid.
Oh yeah,
the one that was on the bench.
Yeah, don't. We're not gonna talk about it. He on the bench.
Coming up next, folks, we're just getting started on a Texas Tuesday. This is a big day. We are loaded in hour number 1. Coming up next, the man that wrote the college football Bible, Phil Steele, joins us next, followed by Joe Cook and Anthony Williams. We're loaded in hour number 1, folks. Don't go anywhere. The morning kickoff is just getting started right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Northbound 35 at Runberg, there's a disabled vehicle that's sitting in the right lane and traffic's moving slow from 183. There is almost a 5-minute delay. On the southbound side of 35 at Tech Ridge, a disabled vehicle sitting in the right lane and traffic is moving slow from Palmer Lane. I'm Junior Caruso with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Dr. Damon Tanton for Viome. Viome's full body intelligence test is the new science in anti-aging and life-extending insights. Viome analyzes your biological age to see if your body is aging too rapidly. You'll learn how making simple, precise changes in certain foods and supplements can, get this, slow your aging, keep you looking young, and help prevent future health issues. Next, Viome doctors design supplements specifically to your body's needs. Their job is to slow down and help reverse how fast your body is aging. And your Viome microbiome test reveals why you have stomach issues, don't sleep well, have low energy, even why you can't lose weight, and more. Viome reboots your body to live longer, live healthier, and look younger.
Viome is changing lives. Order your full body intelligence test online and save $50. Viome guarantees rapid, remarkable health improvements your doctor will notice. Visit Viome.com, promo code THRIVE. That's VIOME.com, promo code THRIVE.
At Hanna Chevrolet, we like to keep things simple. So the price we agree on is the exact price you pay. That means no bait and switches, no absurd additions, no mandatory dealer packages that are magically added at the finance table. At Henna, this can save you $3,000 to $5,000. Just straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, incredible customer service, and a vehicle you're going to love. So come in and together let's drive at Hanna Chevrolet or Hanna.com.
iHeartRadio presents Stuff You Should Know.
Caffeine can be really good for you and help a lot of things, and caffeine can be kind of bad for you.
It's a drug, and in its pure form, Chuck,
Yeah.
it is a bitter-tasting crystalline powder.
Naturally, it's in the coffee bean and in chocolate and tea, but it's also added artificially in things like soda. Your body is enjoying the caffeine. It's blocking that adenosine. You're going to feel alert and awake. It's got that adrenaline going, and it's rewarding you with the dopamine. I mentioned the vicious cycle, the inevitable crash,
right?
Like any stimulant drug, and you want more of it. Eventually, it's going to affect your sleep patterns. All right, how about some health benefits?
Right.
They found everything from not develop Parkinson's disease to dropping your risk of various cancers.
Well, coffee actually is shown to reduce your risk of diabetes.
4 cups a day, 50% less chance of mouth and throat cancer.
You should eat more grapefruit because grapefruit contains something called narragin or narragin, and it actually slows the removal of caffeine from your brain.
Okay.
So you enjoy its effects longer.
Nice.
Yeah.
For the entire caffeine episode and everything else in the Stuff You Should Know universe, open the free iHeart app, search Stuff, and listen now.
1300 The Zone and the Round Rock Express. That's a double play.
He wrote this. He started this in 1995. And he continues to roll on. And if you are a college football fan, this is like Christmas for most of you. Well, all of you, because I know as soon as I got mine, it became Christmas once again. He is Phil Steele, the one and only that is bringing you the Phil Steele College Football Preview. And Phil, as always, thank you so much for joining us. I get excited every time because it means football season is upon us.
Yeah, it's only about 40-some plus days away, but always good being on the show with you guys.
No, we're excited about it. So let's get right into it because obviously the Texas Longhorns being here, being the flagship station where you can hear all your games right here on AM 1300, The Zone. But the Texas Longhorns have turned this program around since Steve Sarkisian first got here. Obviously 5-7, you start to see continuous growth, and it doesn't look like this team is slowing down, especially now that you have Arch Manning as the starting quarterback.
Yeah, and this year's Texas team loaded with talent. You look at the quarterback, as you mentioned, Arch Manning. They've got my number 3 set of running backs in the country. And even though they lose their top 3 receivers from last year, they're pretty much in the same shape they were last season. Remember, they lost their top 3 guys last year. They still have 10 what I call VHTs, or very highly touted receivers. They're my number 5 receiving core. Defensive line, linebackers, DBs, all top 10. Special teams are even up there. I've got them at number 6. Probably the one biggest question I have with Texas would be the offensive line losing 4 starters. But I think when you look at pure talent on the team, you can make a case that Texas might have the most talented team in the country.
Phil, you have a book called The Bible. When people start listing your publication as the sports Bible, it's got to make you feel real good about yourself and all the work that you put into this.
Yeah, I tell you what, we pour 7 months of effort into this magazine each and every year. I start the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and go all the way through that first week of June. I talked to probably 125 plus head coaches going over their entire roster, spent about an average of an hour apiece, been doing it for 31 years. So it's a lot of effort put into it, but yes, you are very correct. When people refer to it as the Bible, it makes me very happy, and it makes the all that effort well worth it.
You have to also feel great about not having a boss. I mean, you're the editor, the writer, the producer. Like you own the publication company. Like, man, you're doing it big. Are we gonna see you on Forbes anytime soon?
I don't think we'll get there, but you know what? When I'm watching my 12 games on Saturday and I'm thinking that's work, it's not really work, is it, guys? When you're watching 12 football games and that's your job. So I tell you what, I'm living the life right now.
That's what it's all about. We're talking to Phil Steele. He is the author, editor, the chief. He is the CEO. He is the man when it comes to Phil Steele's college football preview. And we wanted to talk about this too, because you said that the Texas Longhorns right now, you have them as your 26th ranked offensive line. And there's some guys on there that are making some waves. Obviously, DJ Campbell's getting a lot of pub, but a guy that really stands out to us is Trevor Gooseby. He continued to show when he got his opportunities, the ability to grow. And it seems like he's just getting better and better.
Yeah, and you're looking at a guy that's 6'7", 314 pounds. And, you know, I like the versatility starting at both tackle spots last year, played in all 15 games. And he wasn't one of the highest-rated guys coming out of high school, but he sure looks like it. He's got the size, and as you mentioned, when thrown into the fire last year, he played extremely well.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, he did play well. Hardge asked me before you came on, like, was there something really particular that you want to ask Phil? And I said, yeah, I want to ask him, with the world of sports and college football, it's very cliquey. And everybody in the SEC just was bashing Texas. Texas is not ready. And now here we are, right before August, and everybody's glowing about Texas. Like, what is the deal?
Yeah, and I think when you look at Texas this year, they're probably going to be the pick to win the SEC by the SEC media this year. Probably come in the highest-ranked team in the country as far as the SEC goes. It just speaks volumes of the job that Steve Sarkisian has done recruiting-wise. You just look at the overall talent of this team, and in the era of the playoffs, guys, you got to have depth. And I think that Sarkisian has been building great depth. I mean, you look at their second string, you've got a lot of guys who would start for most other teams. So I just think the overall talent that Texas has, and the fact that they've made the playoff each of the last 2 years, all of a sudden all those Texas doubters are saying, well, you know what, maybe we were wrong, and Texas does indeed have it. No, I mean, to make the playoffs 2 straight years, and they're going to make it a third straight year this year, that really shows what Sarkisian's doing.
So let me ask you this, because you have Arch Manning as your second team quarterback. Grant Nussmeier is your first team quarterback on your all SEC preseason team. But Oklahoma's got their guy. South Carolina's got their guy. So what is it about Nussmeier and LSU that makes them one of the teams to pay attention to in the SEC this year?
Well, I think with Nussmeier, you look at the fact that he's going to throw the football probably a little bit more than Manning will. You look at last year, Nussmeier threw for over 4,000 yards at a 28-12 ratio. He's got an outstanding receiving core coming back. Probably, definitely a more experienced receiving core than Arch Manning is thrown to this year. Both teams, LSU and Texas, are young at the offensive line position, so that is a question mark for both. But I think Nussmeier is probably going to throw for more yards this year, and that's why I put him number one in the SEC as far as the first team coming in. But there's no doubting the talent that Arch Manning has. And I think that Arch Manning coming in for Texas this year gives that quarterback position the run ability that they lacked last season. And remember last year at the end of the season, while Quinn Ewers had a really good year, sort of tallied off down the stretch a little bit. The last 5 games, it was only an 8-6 ratio. I think we're going to see more downfield passing with Arch Manning as well.
Yeah, he's one of those special deep ball throwers, and people love the deep ball around here. So let me ask you this, before we transition, I wanted to ask about Texas A&M, because obviously us being here, we have close proximity. You got to find out about your enemies as well. So what do you think about Texas A&M and Coach Elko coming up this season?
I'm a big fan of Coach Elko. You go back and look what he did as a defense coordinator at A&M. You go back and look what he did as the head coach at Duke. I can tell you, each year at Duke, he surpassed my expectations, and once again last year at A&M, surpassed my expectations again. I think with Marcel Reed, if he can stay healthy, he gives him that mobile quarterback that can be dangerous. They've got a very deep running back core, not quite as deep as Texas, but very deep. They've got a veteran offensive line, and this is an offensive line that, when I talked to Coach Elko last year going over the squad, he said, hey, we got a fair to Midland offensive line. This year, he told me their offensive line will contend for the Joe Moore Award. So I think that he pretty much tells me like it is, and they look good there. They had in the KC Concepcion a wide receiver. And remember, this is a Texas A&M team that was one game away from actually playing in the SEC title game. So they did not finish the season well. They lost their last 3 games last year, 4 of the last 5 games. But I think A&M could sneak in there and be a contender in the SEC. So I think it's going to be a strong year, and I think they topped last year's 8-win total.
Phil, your expertise, give me your offensive and defensive player that is not the guys that everybody thinks. You went through all of these players in college football that you unexpectedly know are going to be a success.
Wow, that's a good one. Naturally, a couple of names pop out. I put most of my guys on the first team that I think are going to be first team. I guess one guy to watch for SEC fans that aren't familiar with him might be Jaden Ott of Oklahoma. When you look at him at Cal 2 years ago, Jaden Ott was just spectacular. And then last year, Ott was banged up, and he was not 100% the entire year. So he didn't have the type of year expected. So I don't know if Jaden Ott's on a lot of folks' lists, but I've got him first team SEC. I think he's going to have a big year this year, and I look for him to recapture the form he had 2 years ago.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Phil Steele. You can follow him at Phil Steele 042 on social media. And, of course, you can go to philsteele.com and place your orders, or Barnes & Nobles. And where else are you located?
Yeah, exclusively at Barnes & Nobles and Books A Million. Those are the 2 locations to go get them while they're still there. And then, as you mentioned, philsteele.com. We charge you a shipping charge if you order it at philsteele.com, but we give you the digital magazine for free, and we actually update the digital magazine all the way through the start of September. So Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, philsteele.com.
Yeah, and I'm always on that digital one because it is always updated. As always, Phil, I appreciate you taking the time and continue your book tour because it's going to be a busy one.
Hey, love talking football with you guys. Appreciate you having me on.
No problem. There he is, Phil Steele. Coming up next, we've got Joe Cook of Inside Texas right around the corner, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Southbound 35 at Tech Ridge, a disabled vehicle is sitting in the right lane, and this has traffic moving slow from Palmer. Use caution and stay to the left. And then on northbound 35, there's stop-and-go traffic between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon Drive, almost a 10-minute delay getting through there. I'm Junior Caruso with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
One buzzword constantly being thrown out in today's auto finance world is affordability. The price of everything has gone up, including vehicles and monthly payments. Auto companies are currently grappling with this issue for their customers. At Apple Leasing, we want you to know that we've been attacking affordability for our customers for over 40 years. A lease offers a much lower payment and reasonable finance terms that can match most customers' trade cycles. Are you in the market now for a new vehicle and finding out your favorite model's price has increased 40%? Maybe you've heard about Apple Leasing on the radio over the years or from friends and neighbors, but haven't made the call yourself. With interest rates dropping and rebates being introduced back to the market, why wouldn't you call Apple Leasing? Join thousands of other happy clients and make that one call that will save you time and money. Our leasing professionals are ready to serve you. Call 512-346-9977. That's 512-346-9977. Or visit us online at appleleasing.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is coming back to Las Vegas, September 19th and 20th. Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today. AXS.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is on now. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
Hold it.
Like you know to check the assembly instructions first.
Hold it.
Before building the bookcase.
And done. Whew. You can let go.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Guardians scored 2 in the 6th to beat the Astros to end their 10-game slide. Summer League continues as the Spurs play the Lakers tonight in the California Classic at the Chase Center. The Clippers in a 3-team trade that sent Norman Powell to the Heat. LA received John Collins from the Jazz. Utah landed Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a second-round pick. I'm Bronson Moss.
This is Chris Broussard. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by DraftKings.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 or older. Age and eligibility vary by jurisdiction.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Hit play on the perfect summer playlist like Summer Classics. Road tripping with commercial-free weekends on Smells Like the 90s. Or zone out in the shade with a good podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Find your next summer preset now.
iHeartRadio. It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Great stuff about Feel Steel. Make sure you get over to Feel Steel 042. And right now is the time that we always have with our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him at Joseph Cook 89. And Joe, let's get right into the conversation. Katie Finley, goodness gracious. We tried to figure out what was going to happen. We thought he was going to be a Texas Longhorn, and lo and behold, he wants to go to the NFL training ground where all the parents that played in the league are now having their kids go to Notre Dame. How big of a loss is this for Texas right now on the journey to try to keep this kid recruited? Hello?
on July 4th. Hello.
Jay, jump. All right. Stay in a good spot. Don't move around, man. Don't move around.
Right. And all right.
Yep.
Hey, on July.
We're gonna call you right back. We're gonna call you right
See
back.
if we can get a better connection.
Yeah, we'll get a better connection. So for those that don't know, Caden Finley, Jermichael Finley's son, class of 2026 from Aledo, he committed to Notre Dame on the 4th, but he did write a letter to all of the coaches that recruited him and told them thank you and trying to find a way to salvage some of those relationships. And it's very true that you try to be as classy as you possibly can, especially in this day and age of portals, of changing your mind. And I told you this before, whenever you start to think about recruiting, you look at it in a different way.
Until they sign on the dotted
Exactly.
line, they're for everybody.
All right, Joe, you good?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's perfect right there.
But yeah, Caden Finley, definitely not something Texas wanted to see head towards Notre Dame, especially when, it is a legacy, Jermichael Finley, but Notre Dame just prioritized him. Texas also prioritized him, and I think you saw in that letter, he wrote on social media thanking, Texas coaches, Arizona State coaches, Texas A&M coaches, that it was a tough decision, but Marcus Freeman sold him on being the next Jaden Greathouse. People around here know that name well.
Very.
And, sold him on, an opportunity to make a name for himself. And, sometimes, maybe your kid wants to follow in your footsteps. Sometimes your kid wants to go to a different school and carve out his own path. And seemed like that was what part of the allure for Finley. Now it's a little bit of uncertainty what happens at wide receiver for Texas. They have Cohen Brown. They have from Waxahachie. They have Chris Stewart from Pearland. Jermaine Bishop Jr. From Willis is likely to start his career on offense. So they probably are either looking for one more or maybe see what happens with the portal as they want to do. Jalen Lott from Frisco Panther Creek, he decides today, an athlete, a high jumper, someone who Texas probably thinks would be a better corner, but has recruited him at wide receiver. But at the same time, it seems like Oregon is the team trending and the team to beat as he sets himself up for an announcement today at 2.
Joe, I'm very disappointed in throwing the hat though. Even with the letter saying, sorry that we're going another direction, but you can't throw the hat. It's kind of like I told my kid at OU. I was like, don't let me see you throwing the horns down and none of that trash.
I when I put that article out about the letter, I did not expect to get, I thought that was just a 2-second bit of a commitment video. And I understand that, he threw the hat. I think I just thought he tossed it to the side. I didn't think it was anything big. We saw a commitment earlier that day that did something a little bit more out there and outrageous with Texas. And I think that's why you're not going to see Texas be involved with the Felix Ojo recruitment anymore. I didn't think that much of it. I just, par for the course for recruiting videos, in my opinion. But I can see why people would be upset for sure.
You brought up Ojo. Don't you think that was a ploy to let everybody know, like, hey, we're in the game, and we want Texas too. We don't want University of Texas to get first dibs on everybody. Everybody, look at us.
Yeah, I here's the thing. Like, he took an official visit to Texas Tech, I think back in April, and I think people just assume that that's just a school that he had a small connection to. But a school like Texas or Michigan or Ohio State were going to be the ones that really, were involved in this recruitment. And Texas felt good throughout the process. They had recruited him. They had prioritized him. They showed him that they wanted him there. And they also understood, and I think Texas understands, you have to check every box. You have to check the on-field development. You have to check the off-field, environment. You have to check, but you also have to check the money box. And I feel like Texas did that. But we have a guy over at Inside Texas. His name is Paul Wadlington, and you're at the mercy of your dumbest competitor. You're at the mercy of someone who's not afraid to dedicate whole percentage points of their $20 million cap to a high school senior. It's sometimes, that's what they want to do. And I'm not, they're going to have part of the deal that's been, publicly announced and stuff be from the revenue sharing from the school directly with the $20 million. There's also going to be some Cody Campbell money coming in. And, I think for Texas fans to start clutching their pearls about Cody Campbell is a little tone deaf. There are plenty of guys who are at Texas not only because they like the school, but because the money's right. But when you're someone like Felix Ojo and the money is more right in Lubbock than in other places, well, you can go make a name for yourself. You can probably start right away. And who knows, maybe you're on a Big 12 title contender with Joey McGuire. Either way, your pocketbook's looking pretty good.
Yeah, and Joey McGuire is from all accounts seems to be a really good dude, and people say he makes you feel like he's your best friend after 5 minutes. So I can understand, because it seems like that's how long that recruitment was 5 minutes. But I digress. So let me ask you this, Joe, because we're getting closer and closer to SEC Media Days, which means football is right around the corner. What is something that you're looking forward to at SEC Media Days starting next week?
I'll go big picture and small picture. Big picture, I'm looking forward to Greg Sankey hamming it up about the strength of schedule in the SEC. At SEC spring meetings in Destin right after Memorial Day, that was kind of his parting shot. Whatever you want to call it, it was propaganda about the strength of schedule and the strength of record in the SEC. That's what he left a lot of national media with as that event was ending. So he's really going to emphasize that. He's going to get asked about the 8 to 9 game schedule and playoffs and revenue and all that, but he's going to be there just to sing the praises of the league and probably reemphasize those strength of schedule metrics that, SEC football just means more, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With Steve Sarkisian, it's hard not to go right to the Arch Manning thing. Just what's going to be different. What's going to be similar? How does he affect the offense? I'm really curious to hear what he says about guys like Jack Endries and Emmett Mosley. We know what Ryan Wingo needs to work on. He needs to be more receiver than athlete, and while still retaining his athleticism. DeAndre Moore's a pretty known commodity and is going to end up being one of the leaders of the team. So what does he have in his, the Bay Bridge connection with Emmett Mosley from Stanford and Jack Endries from Cal? What are those guys going to be able to do for the offense, specifically as it relates to the middle of the field? And I think Mosley, just playing in a East Coast league at a West Coast school that wasn't that good as a freshman, I think he's going to be one of the more under the radar additions. I really am excited for what he might be able to do. He's finally kind of freeing himself from the last vestiges of a high school injury that lingered a little bit at Stanford, and should be one of the starters for Texas and one of Arch Manning's big targets this fall.
Well, I'll be sure to get excited and get a chance to talk to you next week. As always, Joe, appreciate it, and we will see you next week at SEC Media Days. Thanks, brother.
Looking forward to it, guys. Take care.
No problem. Coming up next, we've got Anthony Williams talking all things recruiting right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
One time when Bill Schoening and I were doing a Tuesday night game, and there was an umpire behind the plate, Tom Jenkins. And Tom was a rather corpulent fellow, and he lets a pitch go in there, and you hear this pop again. He goes, ball two. Then crystal clear that our field mic picked up was some fan yelling, Jenkins, you fat!
Only on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Southbound 35 at Tech Ridge, a disabled vehicle is sitting in the right lane, and this has traffic moving slow from Palmer. Use caution and stay to the left. And then on northbound 35, there's stop-and-go traffic between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon Drive, almost a 10-minute delay getting through there. I'm Junior Caruso with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Hardball Hardge here for Covert Chevy in Hutto. This July, make every mile a celebration with Covert Chevy in Hutto. Take $12,000 off the MSRP on a new 2025 Silverado 1500 Custom, or $6,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Tahoe Premier. Summer adventures start here with big patriotic savings all month long. Come and see us at Covert Chevy in Hutto off of 79, or just shop covertchevyhutto.com and tell them Hardball Hardge sent you.
In the podcast, The United States of Kennedy, two Kennedy-obsessed hosts with contrasting perspectives take a deep dive into the Kennedy family's impact, good and bad, on American culture. This week, we're talking about Teddy Kennedy and Chappaquiddick.
There's the official record, and then there's a lot of other theories about what happened that night, and I have my own.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow the United States of Kennedy and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is coming to Round Rock July 17th through the 20th at Dell Diamond. Watch these legendary AUSL Pro softball players on the Bandits and Volts battle it out, including Sis Bates, Rachel Garcia, Skylar Wallace, Texas-owned Bella Dayton, and many more. To learn more, go to the AUSL.com and get your tickets today. That's the AUSL.com for tickets. Athletes Unlimited Softball, July 17th through the 20th at Dell Diamond in Round Rock. AUSL, this is legendary.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Prime Day is here. With great kitchen deals, greatness is a deal away. So if you love baking, you can get a deal on a new mixer, transforming you into the Lord of the Loaves.
Hear ye, make way for the badding of brioche, the sultan of sourdough, the lord of the loaves, prime member Dave!
Yeah, hi?
Shop great Prime Day deals now.
Looking for top quality permanent fencing for your home or business? Look no further than Viking Fence. With over 50 years of experience in Central Texas, Viking Fence delivers craftsmanship you can trust. Whether you need wood, iron, or a custom solution, Viking has the perfect fence to fit your needs. What sets Viking Fence apart? They source the finest quality Western red cedar lumber direct from the mill, the most durable and attractive fence material available. Plus, they offer 3 grades of fence pickets to meet every budget. So whether you want Viking to install your fence or you're taking on the project yourself, call Viking Fence today. They pride themselves on excellent work, outstanding service, and an honest reputation. Call 512-601-8911 for a free estimate. That's 512-601-8911. Or visit VikingFence.com/radio. That's VikingFence.com/radio for your free estimate today. When you think fence, think Viking.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
I hear someone go, "Didn't it come from you guys?"
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma. I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a nurse. I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor, artist.
Bus driver. I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus. Fight the bias.
Help stop the spread of anti-Asian racism by visiting iHeartRadio.com/fightthebias. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels, the Ad Council, and iHeartRadio.
The Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. We are pleased to be joined by Anthony Williams. You know him from FBU. You know him from the All-American game in San Antonio. And now he's got something new, and he's got some familiar faces that are working with him. Good morning, eh? How you doing, my man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys having me in. Looking forward to talking.
No problem. So get right into it. You have now created this connected athletics, and we've talked about this a little bit before, and it is a great learning tool for a young athlete and family members that are trying to figure out and navigate through the recruiting process.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. So the Connect Athletics is a company started by me and some local good friends of mine who've played and coached the game, Chris Vaughn, Brad Smith, and many others. We are focused on helping athletes and families manage the full athletic journey, not just recruiting. There's plenty of recruiting services out there. Go have at it with them. But if you're worried about making that successful transition from even middle school to high school, from an academic standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, from a mental health standpoint, we are here for you. And so we put together some services to help athletes understand that as you move forward in the recruiting process and go through your athletic journey, no matter what sport you play, football, basketball, wrestling, whatever, there are things you need to do along the way to make sure that whenever your sport comes to an end, that you have maximized that sport to get your degree, get your education, create a network, have developed relationships to help you be successful in whatever you want, whatever your output's going to be after your sport is over, whether after a pro career, after a college career, or after high school.
Anthony, I'm just want to go on record right now saying thank you because, firsthand, you helped me and my son Jacob and my wife make decisions and, even training and getting him ready for him now making the team at Oklahoma and being on their active roster. So thank you. And what you're doing is working. Do you have any pushback? We always talk about the success of it, but I'm sure that you run into it every now and then, a little pushback, and how you deal with it.
Well, I pushback is part of life. As athletes, we understand adversity and we actually thrive on it. And there are some who are like, what are you guys exactly? You're just another recruiting service. And me and my partners, we make sure we communicate that we are not a recruiting service. We help during the recruiting process, but we also help in a lot of other areas. And I appreciate the nice words about you and Jacob and your wife. I mean, he was an easy one to help out. But like I said, our service isn't for everybody. We're not going to tell you how great you are every day. You're not going to hear, we're not going to be gassing you up. We'll gas you up if you need to, but we're going to tell you, hey, by the way, you need to be a good person. You need to be of high character, high integrity. All these kids looking for NIL deals, as we'll talk a little bit about how it's coming to high schools and how we're helping people with that. We're not NIL managers. We're just telling these young men that if you want to be in position to be successful, trying to get an NIL deal, what the ramifications that are. We're all focused on the money and the guaranteed money and all these great contracts we're seeing. And believe me, I am for it. I'm all for it. Mike and I have talked many times over the years that I've known him about how everybody's getting rich on the backs of these high school and college athletes. And when they're trying to get a little piece of the pie, everybody now is like, oh, it's ruining the game. I don't believe that. So but we do need to train and tell these athletes how to handle and what's going to come when somebody gives you a lot of money. You become a pro. Mike, you did it in baseball. Mark, you've done it in your career with wrestling and everything. And so kids need to understand that it's just the money, that it changes you, that the expectations go higher. How are you going to handle that? Are you going to be the same athlete as you were before the NIL deal, before you got to college and signed your NIL deal. And so we talk about kind of the things, the intangibles that go along with what we're seeing in the press that's affecting high school and college sports right now.
So, Anthony, let's get right into it, because you got the Grind Reality Camp, and you've added some coaches to your staff, and I'll let you talk about how to sign up for the camp. It's an invite only, but you have Brad Smith, you got Fozzie Whitaker, Greg Harris, Derek Lewis, Casey Studdard, Tank Jackson, Derek Johnson, and your son, Aaron Williams. And this is the breeding ground, so to speak. This is where you learn from the pros and guys that have gone through every level of this.
Yeah, so you guys know I've been blessed to be involved with, Football University and Under Armour and the Navy National Combine, All-American Bowl down in San Antonio. Great events. I've done a lot of camps. Everybody knows the camps are pretty much, you're going to do some combine testing. You're going to do some one-on-ones. You're going to get some indies and probably some 7-on-7. And that's great. And that's what kids should be doing from January to July to get ready for the season. The one thing that we have figured out in the market that's missing right now is really help these kids understand that all these kids that want to play Division I or some level of college football, that it's different when you get to the college level. And I don't care if you go to Westlake, or you go to Allen, or you go to Lake Travis or Vandegrift. And yeah, you might be preparing hard in high school, but there's a completely another level of preparation at the college level. So we got together and we decided, let's put together a camp that's going to give these high school players a understanding, an experience of what a full day in the life is going to look like when you get to college, from an academic standpoint, from a workout standpoint, from being in the classroom and studying film, things like that. And so the camp next Sunday here coming up at Mayor New Tech High School, shout out to Coach Derek Lewis, the head coach for Lowndes User Facility. We're going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. And just like in college, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a strength and conditioning session. As Mark well knows, you're going to start with running and you're going to start with weights. And then after that, you can go to class. And now, instead of doing an academic class, we're going to have a class/seminar on student athlete development. How do you handle when girls are coming at you as a college athlete? Accountability, decision-making, time management, the things going to make you important and make you understand that if I don't take care of this part of the off-field stuff, I will not be playing on the field. And then throughout the day, we're going to be in the classroom. We're going to be on the whiteboard and doing installs on different coverages and plays. We're going to be doing a game study, how to watch film to give you an advantage, how to understand the game within the game. Yes, you're working out with your trainers. Yes, you're working on your footwork or your throwing motion. But if you don't know all the things that happen before the ball is even snapped, you're gonna struggle at the college level. So we're gonna be going through kind of the mental side, increasing their football IQ, and then when we do get on the field, we're gonna work on specific game situations. I'm a linebacker. They come out in 2x2 and they motion to empty. How does that change my coverage? Or does it change my gap responsibility? Am I rotating coverage? A lot of those things are going to happen. And so we're going to teach these kids kind of, you've got great talent, you've got great athleticism, but we're going to have some guys who have played this game at the highest levels teach you that it's important to understand the game mentally. And then when you go in the field, it's not just a matter of reacting, it's knowing before the ball snap. Where the film says 3rd and 2 on this right hash from the -20 out of this formation, they're going to run these things. So you're going to look faster, play faster, be more productive, which is going to help you be more recruitable. And if you learn how to prepare as a college player in high school, it's only going to help your recruiting go up and to the right.
That's what I love. I love it. I love it. I love it. Tell people where to go before we have to let you go, my man.
So they can follow me. The website is on. We're using Riser, which is one of the top platforms for registering for different sports events. If you DM me at awilliamsusa, or you send me an email, awilliams@connectedathletics.org, we'll get you the information to come on down. I will let people know this is not going to be your normal camp. There's not going to be 200 and 300 kids running around out there. 75 kids to maximize comprehension and understanding of this game from a classroom perspective and from an on-field perspective. And then we're also going to have seminars throughout the day on NIL coming to high school. We're going to talk about recruiting from how a college coach looks at it, not from you putting together your highlight video with your favorite mixtape on it. We're going to show these kids here's how you get in front of a college coach to get on their board. We're also going to talk about the academic side of it. Brian Davis, BD, who's on my team, executive team, is going to be down. He's going to talk about whatever services you're getting in high school, how to get those same services when you get to college and make sure you're going to be successful academically to make sure you can get on the field when you get to college.
There he is, my guy, Anthony Williams, as always, bro. Thank you for stopping by and blessing us. And if y'all need to follow us and make sure you get all the information. Thanks, my man.
I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed day.
You too. There he is, Anthony Williams. Hour number 2 is just around the corner right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300. The Zone.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Time for your Live Nation concert update. Don't miss Billy Currington and Kip Moore at Moody Amphitheater at Waterloo Park on August 2nd. We Came as Romans at Emo's August 6th. Falling in Reverse at Moody Center August 13th. And Lil Wayne at Germania Insurance Amphitheater September 16th. Get your tickets now at livenation.com.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you right here in America. And this summer, we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you.
For a limited time until supplies last, assembled with U.S. and imported parts.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Dick's Deal Days are happening now. You won't want to miss our biggest sale of the summer. Scorecard members earn a $20 bonus reward on your purchase of $150 or more. Plus, 3 days of amazing savings start Tuesday. Check out offers for brands like Nike, Adidas, Hoka, and Stanley. And check back daily for new one-day deals Tuesday through Thursday. Score the season's hottest savings before they're gone on July 10th. Shop in the app and on Dicks.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. So whatever your customers are into, true crime, sports, comedy, culture, they'll hear your message. Plus, only iHeart can extend your message to audiences across broadcast radio. And all this reach means everything. Just think about the universal marketing formula. The number of consumers who hear your message times the response rate equals the results. Now let's get those results growing for you. Think podcasting can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and podcasting. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Or call 844-844-iHeart. One more time. Call 844-844-iHeart and get podcasting working for you.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
See things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horde. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Hordes, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Morning Kickoff, Texas Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. In hour number 1, we had Phil Steele talking all things Texas Longhorns and college football. We had Joe Cook of Inside Texas, and we just got finished with Anthony Williams of Connected Athletics. Make sure you check it out. I'm going to give you an opportunity to win a pair of tickets to go see Lainey Wilson. That's right, folks. Lainey Wilson, September the 18th. I'll give you the keyword in just a moment. But right now, I want to get into Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball All-Star Game is a week from today. We'll be in Atlanta. We'll be in Atlanta during SEC Media Days, but also they will be having the Major League All-Star Game there. The rosters are set, but we went through some of the names that were in the All-Star Game. But I want to talk about some of the names that were left off the All-Star Game. And a lot of folks trying to figure out why, how, where, when, what was the biggest takeaway. Well, one of the biggest names that was left off of the All-Star list was Juan Soto. Juan Soto is a guy that is having a really decent year, but he wasn't doing it early enough, and so a lot of people looked past Juan Soto. You start to look around at the shortstop position, and you say, wow, who are some of the guys that are there? Obviously, Francisco Lindor, Ellie De La Cruz, but Mookie Betts. He is somebody that has been playing shortstop. I bet you didn't realize that Mookie Betts was playing shortstop. There's so many different players that have an opportunity that put up great numbers, but then you start to figure out, how is that guy left off the list? So there's going to be more. There's going to be more conversations about it. There's going to be some replacements that are going to have to be there. But it's a little bit different this year with some of the big names that you thought were going to be on the All-Star team that are now not on the All-Star team. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen when we get to Atlanta, see who we run into, try to slide by the game and check it all out. But there's just so much that is going on with that. Also, I wanted to talk about this, Mark, because the MLB draft is Sunday. And 35 years ago, I was drafted 35 years ago.
Wow,
that's a long time ago. People have different lives by then. Maybe people have grown up. Kids are older. You start to think about it. I'm like, my son is 32. And now I'm sitting there looking at it. I was drafted 35 years ago. But now you start to understand. It's like, wow, this is a little bit different. But there's a unique story that is out there right now at Corona High School in California. Now, I've played on some great select teams. I've been on some all-star teams as a young lad coming up where there was a lot of talent. But let's just say this. At one high school at Corona, there might be 4 players drafted in the first day of the MLB draft.
On one team?
First 3 rounds are on day 1. One high school team could have 4 players drafted in that same day, and that's Corona High School. They got a shortstop named Billy Carlson. You've got a starting pitcher with last name Hernandez. You have players that are looking to be dominant and are expected to hear their names called. Seth Hernandez, Carlson at shortstop, Brady Ebel as an infielder, and then a pitcher/outfielder in Ethan Bigman. All of these guys could hear their names called from one high school that can all be drafted in the same draft.
That's wild.
It is unbelievable. Now, you would think that this team went undefeated. Well, they did not.
Did they recruit this team to play together?
It's California. You definitely going to find some recruitment going on.
Oh, come on, man. That's cheating.
But, hey, whatever it takes. I wish I was on a team like that from time to time.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win.
Exactly. So this is an interesting draft just because I've talked to a lot of scouts. I've talked to a lot of national cross-checkers. I've talked to guys that have been around the game for a very long time. This is a very interesting draft because of the fact that a lot of the talent obviously is older. When you start to look at some of the not high school kids, but you start to look at some of the college players that had a chance to come back because of NIL. We've had a lot of conversation about NIL, but you also have got to look at some of the more mature high school players. Of the rounds of 250, you starting to understand that, hey, man, some of these players, they're going to be a high school kid. We talked yesterday about what's going to happen with the Nationals, who hold the number 1 pick, but they fired their general manager and they fired their head coach. So now they're trying to make decisions, and there's a kid, Ethan Holiday, who was probably going to be the number 1 overall pick. His brother is the starting second baseman for the Baltimore Orioles. He was the number 1 overall pick, and his father is Matt Holiday. So their whole family it understands the business of baseball. You also have the left-handed pitcher out of LSU, who's the number 2 player, Cade Anderson. But you have this kid, Seth Hernandez, which will put 2 kids, when I say kids, 2 youngsters that are to be drafted in the first 3 picks that are high school students. So this is going to be an interesting draft strictly because of the fact that some of these kids, 18, 19, 17, 18, you start looking at the draft and you're like, okay, this might be the year that I need to start looking at it. One name that I want everybody to pay attention to is Kason Cunningham. He's out of San Antonio. He's one of the top recruits to the University of Texas. He signed to play at the University of Texas. And now it's just a matter of how much money is he going to get paid? Is it enough, or can we see him on the 40 acres? That's a guy that you need to pay attention to, and we'll see what's going to happen. Coming up next, we called it a Texas Tuesday. We're going to give you all things Texas. That's right. We're talking about the AFC South, the over-under on the wins, and can the Houston Texans win it once again? Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Do you ever feel like when you're talking, nobody is listening? Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone will listen to you. What is on your mind? Go! All you have to do is use the iHeartRadio app talkback feature when listening to AM 1300 The Zone.
Yo, hello, it's me. Enjoy the show.
We will get your message instantly, and we promise to listen to it.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. That's check. Enter it now.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Get your laundry Vegas ready with Arm & Hammer Power Sheets. Just toss in a detergent sheet. No drips, no plastic jugs, no mess. Arm & Hammer is a proud sponsor of the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Clean up before you turn up. Shop Arm & Hammer Power Sheets now.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Southbound 183 at Loyola Lane. There's reports of debris in the right lane. Use caution and stay to the left if you're traveling through the area. And then northbound 35 between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon Drive. There's slow-moving traffic. You can expect almost a 10-minute delay if that's on your route. I'm Junior Caruso with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Is it time for a new job? Then it's time for Express Employment Professionals. Quit the endless online job search. Enlist the pros. Let a local recruiter from one of their 870 locations help. And Express never charges job seekers a fee. Go to ExpressPros.com.
Hey, it's JB and Sandy for our friends at Koala Cooling. Scott and Stacy, the same great folks behind Kangaroo, are the folks who bring you Koala Cooling and Plumbing. You ever hear the saying, JB, the dog days of summer? Do you know what it actually means?
It means you can't go outside. You want to stay in your air-conditioned home is how I interpret that.
True, but it actually has history with astrology the ancient Greeks, and the Dog Star constellation. Hey, that's great. Great to know. But right here on planet Texas, I just know it's hot, right?
Yeah, we hit triple digits in May, and I know we have hit triple digits in September. That's a long stretch. You want to get your home checked out and qualified.
Yeah, you don't want your AC breaking down on the hottest days of the year. So go ahead and get the team from Koala Cooling to come out and take a look. Like JB said, get your AC qualified. Call them today at 512-759-8800.
Shop's simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. You're busy. So Leaf Johnson Ford has made it simple. Pick yours at leafjohnsonford.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leaf Johnson Ford. Leaf Johnson Ford has made buying a new Ford simple.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Find your iHeartRadio everywhere. There are hundreds of ways to experience iHeartRadio at home and on the go, beyond the iPhone and Android app and at iHeartRadio.com. Here's another way to connect to iHeartRadio. Apple CarPlay. Our iOS app comes alive in your car's dashboard with a seamless way to play your favorite music, radio stations, and podcasts. Developed with driver safety in mind, the Apple CarPlay interface was built for simple navigation and to limit driver distraction while making sure you can still access all your favorite content from iHeartRadio. No need to download another app. Just plug or pair your iPhone with your dash, and if CarPlay is available in your vehicle, iHeartRadio will sync automatically. iHeartRadio, everywhere you want to listen, including in your car through Apple CarPlay. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio, anywhere you want to listen, iHeartRadio is there.
iHeartRadio. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Texas Longhorns.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 Zone. You know, as we continue to go across the NFL, we try to find ways to have those conversations. And as always, we try to fight what we see sometimes. And we continue to do that just because that's who we are. And in the AFC South, it has been the Texans year in and year out. The Texans have done an unbelievable job. They find a way to get those wins. And let's be honest, that division has not always been the best. I mean, it comes down to the last few games every single season, and teams that you thought were going to be better end up not being as good. And that continues to be the trend in the AFC South. So I'm going to start with the Tennessee Titans. They had the number 1 pick in the draft, and they went out and got Cam Ward. Cam Ward, confidence through the roof, just seems to be one of those guys that always believes in himself. He went from no star to the number 1 pick in the draft. So for those that are out there that believes that you have to be a 5-star, not necessarily true, because Cam Ward is a prime example of somebody that got it from the mud, went out and just worked his behind off, and his competitive drive and his chip on his shoulder made him who he is, and now he's the number 1 pick. Now they have them at 5.5, over under 5.5 wins. As I've told you before, this division, you play each other twice. There's no real team that you look at and say, oh, no, they're the most dominant. As we talked about in the AFC East yesterday, how Buffalo is the team that won 13 games. They've pretty much been dominant. When you look at the Titans, what is something that you see when you look at them, Mark?
I think that the Titans are a team of young players that are trying to like find their way. I mean, the running back situation. I mean, you know, you have a former Cowboy on that team that is going to be dynamic, and they're going to throw the ball to the backs and tight ends because that's kind of where they're the strongest.
Well, they got Calvin Ridley and they got Tyler Lockett at the wide receiver position. I thought Lockett was going to shut it down.
They rebuild, but like they're not proven in that system yet. Until they do something, it's kind of like the Arch Manning conversation. Arch Manning, he's been in the system and he's had some reps, but he played against Louisiana Monroe and people like that. I'm anxious to see him getting his starting reps against these dogs. That's the same thing I feel about Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm looking at, and don't forget that they got Gunnar Helm as one of their tight ends as well. And this is a guy that understands it defensively. They got Tavondre Sweat and Keandre Coburn on that team. So another, we used to call it Tennessee Longhorns because they were having so many Texas Longhorns. They got a good defense. They got Xavier Woods, Amani Hooker, and LeJarris Sneed. They're going to be good in the secondary. Now they just got to find a way to get people on the ground. 5.5, I'll take them at 6. I'll take Tennessee with 6 win. I'll take them on the over.
Man, I'll do 6 as well. Throw me in there for 6.
Okay. Don't be trying to do everything I do, man. Pick your own team.
Okay, let's do 7. I'll go 7.
No, it was just over-under. It was just over-under, so you're good. Then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is a team that you continue to look at, and this is a team of underachievers.
Yeah.
You look at Trevor Lawrence. This is put up or shut up for Trevor Lawrence. He has to finally take that next step. Now, in his defense, over the last 3 seasons, over his career, this will be his 3rd head coach. He had Doug Peterson. He had
who's responsible for that?
Urban Meyer, and now they have Lynn Cohen, who they expect a lot from Lynn Cohen. I don't know much to expect from him, but you start to understand that now you're in a position. You got a wide receiver in Brian Thomas. You drafted Travis Hunter. Your running game is Travis Etienne. You bring in Tanks Bigsby. Brenton Strange is your tight end. Offensive line, you went out and got Walker Littles on your squad, Patrick McCarry. You've done some things on your offensive line to kind of shore that up. Can you take that next step? I'm not sure. Their number is also, they're at 7.5 wins. Do you see them getting 7.5 wins?
Listen, man, you asking a guy that's got an opinion about how that franchise is run. They have the failure carousel of coaches that come there, and Trevor Lawrence is a bust. Right now, if you look at Trevor Lawrence's career and his career trajectory, he is a failure. Can Travis Hunter give him another wide receiver that could help him, that can increase his ability to get first downs and get wins, get touchdowns? Maybe. But we're going to have to see.
Yep.
I would put them on the underside.
Okay. Under 7.5 wins?
Under 7.5 wins.
Okay. I'm with you on that.
Travis Hunter going to have to play like Superman in a football uniform.
He's got that ability, but we'll see what ends up happening. Let's go to Indianapolis. Shane Steichen. And now it doesn't look like it's AR-15, Anthony Richardson. It looks like it's going to be Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. Can Daniel Jones resurrect his career in a Sam Darnold type of way to where he can go somewhere else and not have to deal with the limelight of being in New York? I'm going to give him over 7.5.
I'll give them over 7.5, but I have a suggestion and make them 8-9 win team.
What's that?
Make Anthony Richardson slash. I would play him at tight end. I'd play him at H-back. I'd play him at Wildcat quarterback, but he would not be my starting quarterback.
Well, that's why I said Daniel Jones is sitting at the starting quarterback.
Yeah,
and
leave Daniel in there.
And Jonathan Taylor is still a very viable back. You just drafted the tight end, Tyler Warren, out of Penn State. Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs. You still have that. Then defensively, you got DeForest Buckner. You still have Latu at linebacker. I wasn't going to try to say his first name. Zaire Franklin. You got Ward. You got a good defensive secondary back there. So I'm going to put them at over. I'm not going to say they're going to win 9 games, but they'll definitely win 8. Well, that brings us to the Houston Texans. And the Houston Texans.
Here we go.
They are sitting at 9.5 wins. And look.
That's too low. That's too low.
Wow.
I give the Texans 10 wins. I'm going over.
Yeah.
Put me down for over.
Yeah.
And you know why?
DeMeco Ryans is one hell of a coach. You got C.J. Stroud, who has done a really good job. And I know a lot of people were giving him grief from last year, but if you go and look at the numbers, he was pretty doggone good. You got Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, and Christian Kirk at the wide receiver position. You changed the offensive line. You've done some things differently, and you brought in a big piece to the running game that Joe Mixon now has Nick Chubb. That means Damian Pierce is probably going to be gone. Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter coming on that outside, bringing the heat. That's going to be something to really pay attention to. And obviously the secondary with Derek Stingley Jr., who just got re-upped. And Kamari Lassiter, too. I'm excited to see him. And Petrie is just a dog.
Oh,
Petrie
is
is just a dog. So you said you got them over
10. I got them 10 wins.
I can see them getting 10 wins
and
as well.
primarily because of the offensive line upgrade.
Yeah.
And if you can keep your quarterback from getting his pants dirty, then you got a greater chance to win, because I really do feel like he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a good look, and it's going to be interesting. We're getting closer and closer to football season. As we continue to go through these, we're going to break down all these divisions, have our over-unders, and see exactly how we end up. But you don't want to miss it. WWE Hall of Famer and World's Strongest Man, the Mark Henry, brings you his World's Strongest Take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Southbound 35, there's stop-and-go traffic between Parmer and Runberg. Going to cost you about 5 minutes if you have to travel through the area. There's also an accident on Steck Avenue at the northbound service road of Mopac. Use caution or avoid the area if you're able to. Traffic is moving a little slow through there. I'm Junior Caruso with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At Henna Chevrolet, the price we agree on is the exact price you'll pay. I was at a Chevy dealer recently, found the car I wanted, agreed on a price, and made it all the way to the financing table before they mentioned the $2,500 mandatory dealer package they added. Mandatory, as in they refused to remove it. So I left and went to Henna.
For straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, come in and together let's drive at Henna Chevrolet or Henna.com.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Families are making plans for summer road trips, and with rising costs, they're looking for ways to save. Joe Saul-Sehy, personal finance expert and host of the Stacking Benjamins podcast, says planning ahead can help.
Setting a realistic budget for things like food, gas, lodging, of course, that's going to make an impact and help you save money. But also focusing on those little things, looking at reward programs and offers and incentive can help a family defray the cost of the trip a lot, while also making sure that you keep all the fun.
Families can protect their investment in their vehicle with programs like GM Rewards MasterCard from Barclays and the GM Rewards Loyalty Program. Card members can earn points towards exclusive experiences, a new car, routine service, or digital features like OnStar.
If you're already spending money on things like groceries or travel, why not sign up for the reward program for those things to get points? It's a great way to build future savings toward future adventures.
To learn more about GM Rewards and the GM Rewards MasterCard, visit experience.gm.com.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, a mix of sun and clouds, scattered thunderstorms this afternoon, a high near 90 for your Tuesday. Tonight's low 75. Wednesday, partly cloudy, a high in the low 90s.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Hit play on the perfect summer playlist like Summer Classics. Road tripping with commercial-free weekends on Smells Like the 90s. Or zone out in the shade with a good podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Find your next summer preset now.
iHeartRadio. Catch every pitch with the Round Rock Express on 1300 The Zone.
You heard the beat drop, so it only means one thing. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, D. Mark Henry, brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
Hart,
what's up, man?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest. Marcus. Back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. Y'all on me. Well, today's take is brought to you by Covert Chevrolet BK. If you want to drive on out to BK and ask for the Cadillac because unbelievable. Guys, my take today is about Ace Bailey. And there's been a lot of scuttlebutt, if you will, about him not training for teams, him not going and do workouts, him not wanting to go to a certain 5 or 6 teams. Like, don't draft me. I don't want to come there. Like, I mean, I don't know. What world do you get to choose when the teams have the draft pick? I want you on my team. Like, do the right thing. Come on, get in. He didn't train very much, Hardge. He didn't go to the training camps and go work out for teams like most guys do. And it showed last night, even though he had a good game and he brought the team back from behind 14 points to a victory. And it was on his back. And that's important because it's hard to lean on a young player and them be the one that is the sole reason why you won the game. And last night, he had, again, double-digit rebounds. He had 18 points this time as opposed to the first game where he had 10 rebounds and only 7 or 8 points. But Ace Bailey is a guy that I look at from evaluating him just over these 2 Summer League games. These are not NBA games because if you did really well in a Summer League game, cool. If you do really bad in the Summer League game, it's not that you can't play in the NBA, it's you're going to have some struggles. And I look at Ace Bailey as, from his talent, from watching him in these last 2 games, last 2 nights, on the downside, on the low end, I see him as Antonio McDyess. And Antonio McDyess was a really, really good player. And on the upside, on the talent, like by the eyeball test, the ceiling could be Sean Kemp. And this is a guy, Hardge, at one point he got a rebound. Just a far off high bounce rebound. Took one step outside the circle and windmill dunked it. Like it almost killed a dude. I'm sure the ambulance had to come get him. He is that dynamic a player. I feel like Antonio McDyess is the floor. Sean Kemp is the ceiling. What say you?
Man, that is an interesting combination of people for you to try to put him into that. I guess my biggest thing is, why do we always, and not just you, why do we always have to compare these players to different people?
It's the skill set.
I'm just saying, like, this guy just played a couple Summer League games, and we're trying to dissect who he is right now. This game may totally change. Everybody's game changes as it evolves into the system in which it is. Right now, all they doing is just throwing the ball up and running around, and there's no method to the madness when you're looking at these games. Just like last night, you were watching Philly. Philly played a totally different way than what they played the other day.
Well, that's because of what they have now. Like when you get the groceries, you tend to make those groceries with a specified meal in mind. Like the Summer League is not that. The Summer League is, hey, here's all the groceries. Whatever you make is what you make.
Right.
But these guys are going to go into a system.
Correct.
So when they're done with the Summer League, Ace Bailey is going to go and be in the Utah Jazz structure system. And we know how Utah plays. They play high pick and roll.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see a high pick and roll, he is perfect for the high pick and roll.
Yeah.
So like they're testing him out. He was out of shape last night, tongue dragging. They played him every minute of the game because they want to see how he responds when he's tired. They want to know him, and they're trying to figure it out. He was on his hands on knees at the end of the third. He still had another quarter to play. And what did he do? He stepped up. He got the ball 3 or 4 times in a row and scored 3 or 4 times in a row. And they ended up winning the game. They came back from down 14. It tested his mettle. So they know what they got. They know they got a dog. They just got to make sure that that dog stays on the leash because he's a mouth. And a lot of people don't want to hear it. Like you're a young 18 or 19-year-old kid. I don't want to hear you talking about what our franchise should do.
Well,
you haven't earned it yet.
Ace Bailey, I don't think he's the mouth. I don't think he said anything. To be quite honest with you, he's actually been pretty respectful when you look at all of his interviews. It was the agents that were the ones that were the problem. I don't think a lot of times these people around him, and you know this, the people around you are the ones that are causing the problem. It's not you. A lot of them say, I'm trying to protect you from stuff. Well, actually, you're creating more of an issue for me by running your mouth so much. So I think he's going to be just fine. You don't become the 5th pick in the draft. It could have been higher if you would have worked out for some people without having the talent that he has. So I'm not worried about Ace Bailey and trying to fit in. The problem is, what is Utah going to do to create around him? I still think the biggest steal in this draft is going to be Walter Clayton Jr., the kid from Florida.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be probably one of the better players in the draft.
He's Brunson, but younger.
Yeah, I just think that he's going to be a lot better. So we'll see what ends up happening. There's going to be more games. There's games tonight. There's games this afternoon. There's going to be more games.
When is Trey Johnson going to play? Have they listed him playing?
Not yet.
Summer league yet?
They don't have his schedule yet because there's different leagues that are going on right now. But we shall see. Another great take by the world's strongest man.
Appreciate it.
When we come back, we're going to close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. But I got to give away some tickets. And guess what? There's been some changes that are going on in the sports world. I'm going to tell you one of them right now. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone.
Tease.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Life is Good by Joe Walsh.
Life's been good, but that's close enough for Joe.
You know, when I see that album cover, for some reason, he looks like Dale Earnhardt to me. With the mustache. Now, I haven't really seen what he looks like in person.
Right.
Back when it was.
Trust me, if Dale Earnhardt were alive today, he would not look like Joe Walsh. There's not many people look like Joe Walsh how he looks today. Trust me.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Southbound 35, there's stop-and-go traffic between Palmer and Runberg. Going to cost you about 5 minutes if you have to travel through the area. There's also an accident on Steck Avenue at the northbound service road of Mopac. Use caution or avoid the area if you're able to. Traffic is moving a little slow through there. I'm Junior Caruso with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
0628.
No power? No problem. With a whole home backup generator from Abacus. Abacus offers professional Generac installation with extended warranties, financing, and now certified Generac maintenance plans. Abacus, you can count on us.
Hardball Hardge here for Covert Ford and Hutto. This July, celebrate freedom in summer with a new Ford from Covert Ford Hutto. Right now, get $12,509 off MSRP on a new 2025 Super Duty F-250 Lariat, or $12,000 off of MSRP on a new 2025 F-150 Lariat. Two legendary trucks with star-spangled savings all month long. Visit Covert Ford and Hutto off of 79 or online at covertfordhutto.com.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is coming to Round Rock July 17th through the 20th at Dell Diamond. Watch these legendary AUSL Pro softball players on the Bandits and Vaults battle it out, including Sis Bates, Rachel Garcia, Skylar Wallace, Texas-owned Bella Dayton, and many more. To learn more, go to the AUSL.com and get your tickets today. That's the AUSL.com for tickets. Athletes Unlimited Softball, July 17th through the 20th at Dell Diamond in Round Rock. AUSL, this is legendary.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
In the podcast, The United States of Kennedy, two Kennedy-obsessed hosts with contrasting perspectives take a deep dive into the Kennedy family's impact, good and bad, on American culture. This week, we're talking about Teddy Kennedy and Chappaquiddick.
There's the official record, and then there's a lot of other theories about what happened that night, and I have my own.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow the United States of Kennedy and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Craig Way here, and no matter who you listen to on the air and no matter which team you root for, we can all agree in recommending Dr. Greg Eckert as your dentist. Dr. Eckert has been serving the Austin area for 30 years now. He's been my dentist for more than a decade. Greg Eckert and his staff will show you what your situation is, and they'll tell you what they can do to help so that you can make the informed decision about your dental health care needs. Give Dr. Eckert a call today at 512-345-3166. They're open on Fridays if that works for you. 512-345-3166 for Dr. Greg Eckert.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Coffee Shop Radio, acoustic rock, and the greatest singer-songwriters of the 90s to now.
All night, come on, dance with me. I'm levitating.
And Coffee Shop Radio goes commercial-free every weekend. Open the free iHeartRadio app, search Coffee Shop Radio, and listen now.
iHeartRadio.
Free never sounded so good.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Now's your chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Lainey Wilson. That's right, Lainey Wilson, September the 18th at the Moody Center. All you got to do is get over to that iHeartRadio app, search AM 1300, The Zone, tap that red microphone, and leave the word truck. Truck is your word of the day, and make sure you're tuned in to the Craig Way Show, the voice of the Texas Longhorns. You can always hear Texas Longhorns games here on AM 1300. So make sure you tuned in to the Craig Way Show this afternoon as my guy, Cam Parker. Appreciate you, Cam. Our boss. Let's get into this, Mark. Today was a great day. We had Phil Steele come on to talk college football. We had Joe Cook of Inside Texas and On 3 talk college football. And we also had Anthony Williams talk college football and what's going on with it. But as always, it's always good to talk college football because of the fact that NCAA came out yesterday and people are looking at their images, name, images, and likeness, and trying to figure out who that is representing them as their mock-ups on the game. If you go to Jonah Williams' information and check out Jonah Williams is like, who is this that is supposed to be me? I just showed you a picture of my cousin Nico. He looks like Pablo. And we're just trying to figure out how the name, image, and likeness on this game, which in today's society should be way better with the imaging. AI creates a better version of the players right now than what we've seen from EA Sports because it's in the game.
Jacob called me day before yesterday, so excited. I mean, so excited about this game. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to take my play. I know it's going to probably be like a 60 or something, 65. and I'm gonna build it up. And I'm like, bro, you got practice to do. School is about to start. I need you in the library studying. Like, hell with that game. He's like, no, Dad. Like, I'm actually gonna be on the game. I don't have to create myself. And I said, all right, man. Like, congratulations. And it became a moment because I remember what it was like the first time I got an action figure.
Right.
Or I saw myself, my likeness on a video game. And then I had to put that in perspective, but it wasn't me, it's him. And then I got real proud.
Yeah.
You hear that? A few people calling off sick today from their jobs.
I think they had already taken off. I think they had already put
they
in.
Already at home.
Yeah, they already knew what it was when they put it out there. So it's a fun time. I know a lot of people are excited about NCAA. A lot of kids are playing that game already. So it's going to be fun when you think about it. Also, what's going to be fun is the return of one Randy Moss. The news came out yesterday that Randy Moss was going to return and be back with the NFL countdown. He had to take some time off last year because of his cancer diagnosis, but now he is going to be back from hiatus from last year. And I know a lot of people are really excited for him. So kudos to him. As we talked about earlier this year, Lee Corso. I was going to call him Lee Smith. Lee Corso, this will be his final year as a analyst and on College Game Day. His last game will be the Texas Longhorns traveling to Ohio State. Hopefully the headgear for the last time will be a Texas Longhorn that he puts on his head. But as all this time has gone by, you start to appreciate all the things that is happening with the college football game. As we talked to Phil Steele, he was talking about the fact that we're like 40 or 50 days away from the season starting. I was talking to Marcus right before the show, and I just happened to look. NFL preseason games start at the end of the month. I did not realize that the first preseason game will be the Hall of Fame game, and that game will be played early in July the 31st. I'm like, wait, what? How's that even possible? I cannot wait. But as anything else, you start to understand that this is the biggest week. The Chargers and the Lions will kick off the NFL preseason July the 31st on NBC. So we are right around the corner from the beginning of the NFL season, Mark.
Man, I'm excited, man. I really am. I think that this is going to be the college season of all college seasons. I think that, the University of Texas is going to win a national championship, and I think our Cowboys are going to win 10 games. I'm good with that.
And Mug said, we're going to win a national championship with the Horns, but Cowboys going to win 10
Hey, 10 games is good enough for me. That means we get into the playoffs, and anything can happen.
Oh, my God.
Coach Shotty got me over here fired up, Hardge. I don't know if you can tell I got a little hope in my voice. And listen, if the Cowboys can get to the playoffs and win one game, I'm good.
Yeah.
That goes so far with me because I know that they're going to get better. Agent Zero is coming back. Like, there's so many things that I'm looking forward to. And the thing that I look forward to the most is seeing Stephen A. Smith over there with his mouth shut. I don't want to see no more Stephen A. Smith with the hat. What? I want him to be quiet.
That is never going to happen.
That's never going to happen.
But the Cowboys got to shut him up.
Yeah. Well, he'll find a way to say something about the Cowboys. That is a guarantee, as always. You were talking about the NBA a little while ago, Mark, and I don't want to get too deep into this discussion, but you had mentioned something during the break about the LeBron James situation and how the new ownership said what to LeBron?
They said yesterday, and they said, last week they said that they were going to do everything they could to get Luka to be the number one star in the NBA, which basically said, okay, we're going to put all our resources in. But they said yesterday that every move that they make is going to be geared towards furthering the success of Luka and not LeBron James. Don't mention my name if you're going to say you're going to not do something. If I'm LeBron, I'm like, listen, buy me out.
Yeah.
Buy me out. Don't talk trash on me. He almost dropped one.
So hold on, man. I'm not going to sit here and not defend the front office. LeBron
I'm not mad
just
at
got
him.
$52 million.
Buy me out.
No. Why? So you can win, so you can have $52 million and go ahead and go?
Well, that money going to go off the cap, so they'll be able to get whoever they want
Not
next
a buyout.
year.
It's still you still got to make sure that money is accounted for. And if I'm them, I'm not paying you $52 million
To go play
walk
for somebody
away,
else.
to help somebody else win. No,
No, you playing for me this year, and
yes.
then when the season is over, you
Bye.
go wherever you want to.
Bye, and take Bronny with you. Take
Wow.
Bronny with you. No, I
Why
ain't
would
catch
you
that.
say
I ain't gonna
that,
do that to
sir?
Bronny. And did you know that 15 years ago is when LeBron decided, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach? 15 years ago today. But he did donate money to the Boys and Girls Club, so I ain't got no problem with that. Great show today, and if you missed any parts of it, get over to the podcast page. It's number 2 on your preset, but we're number 1 in your heart. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, as we'll have Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman, and we'll talk more Texas Longhorns, and, of course, we'll talk NFL. For Marcus, for Mark, I'm Hardball Hardge, and just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Have a great day. Peace.